awesome people, and I want to make sure that you guys are hearing what it takes. I have a little page called 12-Minute Mentor, and I like to post motivational stuff, but I've been a student of personal development for quite a long time now, for at least, I'd say 15 years. And along the journey, I've met some incredible individuals, and I want to bring somebody on today that is a true rock star. He's somebody that knows what it takes to be successful and make a living doing his craft. And I want you to hear from my friend, introduce you, but let's see if we can get him on the line here. And this is going to be a super fun interview today. I hope you'll join us. Tag somebody if you're watching the replay. And on the line, Patrick, what is up, my man?
Hey man, how you doing?
Dude, I am every time I'm like, appreciate you for where you at right now.
I'm in Erie, Pennsylvania, and let me see, I'm in my hotel room. It was raining, but we're going on in a little while, and it looks like it cleared up, so it's all good.
So what do you do?
No, I'm on a wireless guitar. I don't know if that makes a difference. I usually look at the guitar tech, and he'll have plastic over a lot of the gear and my expensive foot pedals and stuff. And the other night it happened in New York, and my stuff was covered, but Lita's monitors were full of water, so she couldn't hear her vocal, but we just rocked out anyway.
So that's
Hold on, sorry, the connection's kind of bad. Do what?
Who are you on tour with right
now? Right now, it's a one-off with just Lita Ford. We're the headliner tonight at this biker rally where all these people are. We play in the middle of a speedway, and all these people are going to be on their motorcycles.
Wow! What kind of shows have you played?
We've done mostly festivals. We played with Vince Neil and Skid Row. Got a bunch of different things, and it's just like summer touring and a lot of one-offs. We'll fly in somewhere, and then we'll go and do a bunch of shows in that area and fly away.
Well, it's hard to believe that I you. I did almost 20 years. Tell me how you got in the music business.
Let me see. I guess it didn't really become business until money got involved. But I was definitely one of those kids trying to find my way in school, didn't play sports, couldn't do theater. At one point, I thought, there's something wrong with me. I can't do anything well, and I'm not scholastic. My mom saw me fiddling on my brother's guitar, my older brother's guitar, and I could play the intro to Breaking the Law, and then I learned a Def Leppard riff, and pretty soon, I was the guy in my neighborhood that knew how to play all the riffs. And my mom got me my own guitar, and then she got me an amplifier, and I hooked up with another kid that was a badass drummer, and we had a local band. We started doing Battle of the Bands. I would win like best guitar player. I took lessons, and my goal at that time was to sound like my heroes. I remember wanting to sound like Mick Mars did on Motley Crue. Why does his guitar sound like that? He's playing this guitar with this amp, and he's playing these chords, and that was my initial goal. And once I got to that, I started trying to make my own music. And so I was the guy that always had the cool band in town. We would win Battle of the Bands, and things started getting money involved. By the time I got out of high school, we'd actually be paid to play. And then I would play with another band that was a cover band, and I got a paycheck. So I was like, holy crap, I'm actually making money off of having fun. So that's when it kind of got professional anyway.
How many hours did you play?
7 figures, 8 figures, I don't know, million? I'd have to get on a calculator and see. I don't know. I never really clocked it in. I just did it because I wanted to. And then as I saw success, I wanted more success of not just money, just playing. I just wanted to sound good. And I wanted to sound like whatever my favorite guitar player was at the time.
How many hours do you play guitar right now?
Now it shifts a lot. I play my guitar intermittently, but I do a lot of vocals now. So I don't give the same attention to my guitar as I did before. But now music is still 8 hours a day for me. Even if I'm listening, writing, recording, hell, even watching my favorite bands, I still learn stuff.
How did you get signed? Love your record.
There was a guy named John Weekland, and his boss John Kolodner heard about us because we had been showcasing for all kinds of labels because we were the coolest local band in San Antonio, Texas, in the late '90s. And I didn't say the best; I said the coolest. and labels were checking us out, and we would go to California, and then some of them would come to us. And they all would say no. They all said, great band, we don't think it's there yet. And then one night we had yet another sold out show in our hometown, and the people from Sony Columbia showed up. And that night they said, we're going to sign your band. And it was a really cool learning experience. I didn't think they were going to sign my band because six labels already said no. I told my mom, I said, we're doing another showcase just so they can tell us no. You know, I was angry. And my mom said, well, get out there and just play for you. Screw everybody, play because you want to play. And I thought that was good advice. And sure enough, the night that I thought we wouldn't get a record deal, we actually did. And that was in the late 90s. And it goes to show you, you can get as angry as you want, but just don't act on the anger. Just move forward more. If you ask one girl on a date and she says no, does that mean you should never ask another girl on a date again? No, it doesn't mean that. So that's another one of those, just keep going at it.
What did it feel like to get a record deal? How many years have you been playing up to that point?
Oh, we had played so many gigs and played so many. It was surreal in one way, but I remember we owed a lot of people money. My parents, some people that were close to the band, we owed them thousands of dollars for helping our band get merch started, helping our band get equipment, helping our band start our own recording studio. We turned around and paid those people back. And I'm going to tell you, it feels pretty good to see the look on their faces when you hand them that money back. Oh, here's $5,000 that you loaned us. Here it is, all at one lump sum. Thank you. And that was pretty cool. That gave me a lot of confidence that I could do that. You know, you're no longer the guy that has long hair and not a real job. You're somebody that's doing it at that point.
Who are some of the bands you play with and tour with?
Let's see. We were lucky enough that Marilyn Manson took us on his tour. He loved our band. We did the Ozfest with Disturbed and, you know, Black Sabbath and Slipknot. And of course, we made friends with all those bands. And then we took out an unknown band on their first tour. They were excited that we had a tour bus. They were nobody. They were called Linkin Park. And we took them out and they went on to superstardom. And I knew they were going to be doing superstardom.
What's it like to be in a band with 3 or 4 other people calling the shot? How do you work ethic?
It's funny. It's like a business in the sense of if it's your band that you got signed, that's your business, and you get to decide a lot more. Now, a lot of people playing with legendaries, like I play with Lita Ford, that's her legendary business. But in this case, she is someone that brings me in and lets me have a lot of say. She gives me a long leash on stage to sing and play. But it's not much different from starting a business or working for somebody. And a lot of times people think, oh, it's just because who you know. But that's not totally true. You have to play really well. That goes without saying. But really, you have to get along with people. You know, if I always tell someone, you're not allowed to have an attitude because you're not powerful and have all the money and run the whole ship in order to have a bad attitude. So you need to get along with people. And that's not the reason to do it, but that's a reason I get gigs like playing with Lita, is probably because I can get along with people.
How long have you been with Lita?
2014. I'm going off, it's 5 years now.
Wow, congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Heaven Below.
Yeah, I have another band when I'm not with Lita, I front, called Heaven Below. That's a band that I sing and we write original music. We also do some covers for fun, but it's definitely a labor of love, and it's a passionate kind of band. And we would love to play more. Our other guitar player is Nikki Stringfield, who's in the Iron Maidens. And between Nikki's Maiden schedule and my Lita Ford schedule, we try to do as much as we can. But the truth is, if I'm not working on music, I'm bored, you know? So I'm not a guy that goes surfing or a guy that goes, you know, whatever people do on the off time. I'm always working on music.
You shred like nobody else, and I love watching you play. What advice do you have for lunch? You're good at something.
One of my first pieces of advice is to always record yourself. I remember when I was a little kid, I had the cassette handheld recorder, and I would record myself playing. In certain things, I played well. In other things, like lead guitar, I didn't do well, and I would get frustrated. And I realize now that frustration is an awesome, wonderful thing, because you say, now I'm going to work on that part. I sound good at this, but I don't sound good at this. How do I sound good? So always record yourself. And when you hate the way you sound, that's wonderful. You're going to make it better. So it would be boring and you wouldn't do it if you loved the way you sounded right away. So I think the challenge is just always record yourself and just keep moving forward.
What does it feel like? Make a living.
It feels great. I have a lot of friends that envy what I do, but it is a lot of work. Like the last 2 days, I've only had broken sleep of 2 hours here, 3 hours there. But it feels good. You know, it's neat that I can rent a house by the beach, and I can pay my car insurance, and I definitely don't live high on the hog, but it's nice to be able to make a living by doing it. And I've never really made it about the money, but it's one of those things that rears its head, and you have to treat it right. You know, you can't just take every paycheck and go out to the Sunset Strip and spend $300 on drinks, and I've done that. You can't do that. So it keeps you humble and responsible. It feels good.
When you got your record with Columbia, did you sack some money to be able to for a rainy day?
No. Union Underground did a lot of the wrong things. We paid off people we owed, and then we would spend as much money as we could on something trying to make it great, which at times was good, but looking back, we could have been a lot wiser with what we did. There was some management decisions, and there was a lot of turmoil inside the band, a lot of cliche behind the music pitfalls, and I think that's why that band doesn't exist today. We fell victim to those cliched pitfalls. And even though at the time I knew something was wrong, I didn't know how to rock the boat or how to fix everything. And the truth is, probably I wasn't supposed to fix everything.
Well, I know your rock brother, John Moyer, had what lesson you of being touring the world, and then within music, like somebody you know, how to be positive and things going apart.
Yeah, well, number one, make sure your finances are together, because you don't want to have to fall and end up having to do a job you don't want to do. So not that you have to necessarily stay tight on a budget or something, but you have to really just bare bones and dig in and make everything work for you. And there is living paycheck to paycheck, even for rock stars. You know, people make, what's that song? Mo money, mo problems. That happens. So you got to stay away from that. And another thing is just to branch out. Like I know John does producing, and he even directed a video for other bands. He kind of utilizes himself where he can and asserts himself in a positive way. I do the same thing. I just helped Nikki Stringfield record all her vocals for her forthcoming EP. I still play on albums. I just played with David Hasselhoff. He has a heavy metal album. I did all the backing vocals. I did an album with William Shatner, people like this. And these are relationships that I made through producers and people in the industry. My first gig when I moved out to LA was recording guitar on a Rob Zombie album. I made friends with the producer. He loved my guitar playing. And then he wanted to hang out and go out drinking with me. And we had a great time. So I don't know. I think it's just about spreading the love and just being real and just working hard.
So I
think that's all there's to it.
I'm hearing the importance of networking in your business. All business. For a minute. Take care of your body
Yeah, I'm probably not always great at that. I've gotten good at eating in the Sky Lounge, wherever we are, and having a lot of soup. We must be getting older, because now I'm like, oh man, gotta have that Thai chicken soup. And, I try not to drink too much beer, try to stay away from bread. And yeah, it's hard out there on stage. We sweat a lot. And at one point I was gaining weight and I was getting pain like in my lower hip. and I'm like, what is this? Like, something's wrong with me? I stopped drinking beer and stopped eating bread and dropped some weight, and the pains went away. So there you go. You just stay healthy.
I have an incredible amount of respect. I want to talk more about I love everything about both and inspiration. A lot of people don't know that I call me I don't know. I think a year and a half of fun, and it was my very first big time tour management. It was so neat to watch the first time I met you. I walked in and played in a green show at a big outdoor theater at the beginning of the radio show. I was like, oh my God, I'm paid big time. So
that was good times. You were our first real tour manager.
Well, it was really exciting, and the value of some friendship in business. That to hear this. So, how do people find your band and follow you and watch your
Super easy. I'm all over social media. Heavenbelow.com, LitaFordOnline.com. Lita always links me on everything that she posts. So if you just look for Lita Ford and Heaven Below, you'll see me on there. And I love being one-on-one with people. To be honest, I like even the negativity sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? That person is an idiot, and good for them. This is America. You get to be an idiot.
Crazy question. Let's say I want a lesson online. Could somebody hire you for the right price? Personal coach.
I haven't done that yet. I get approached a lot. I usually send them to one of my other buddies in Texas who are better guitar players than me. They might not be as cute as me, but they're better guitar players. But I don't know. Maybe one day I'll do that. If I could schedule that, that would be fun.
Well, I know how busy on little got a sound check today. What's next month or two?
I'm finishing the Heaven Below cover album. We've recorded an album of all dead rock stars. It's called Rest in Pieces. So we got Johnny Cash, we got Queen, we got AC/DC, Pantera, the Ramones, Led Zeppelin, all this kind of stuff. We're finishing that album, and I'll be touring with Lita and just keeping busy.
Wow, I can't wait to record, man. Are you put it out like on your website, and then we put it on
everywhere. It'll be on Spotify, Apple streaming. I'll even make sure that versions of it get to YouTube. I'm all about making sure everybody gets it in their hands.
Love it. I thank you for being on today with story. We'll have to do this again sometime.
You can always count on me, brother. I miss and love you too.
All right, Pat. Tonight and the rest of the brother.
Thank you, David.
See you later.